Hey everyone, welcome. If you're a nursing student, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're tackling a skill that you are going to use constantly: IV system maintenance. And listen, this is way more than just checking a box in clinicals. We're talking about building that rock solid confidence you'll need on every single shift. So, let's start with a really important question. Is this just another task on your to-do list, something you just have to get done? Or is it something more? We're here to say it's way more. We're going to go beyond the simple checklist to get to the why behind it all, because this is a core part of being a professional. And that right there, that's the heart of it. Getting this right isn't just about looking competent. It's about literally protecting your patients. We're talking about preventing some pretty serious stuff, like infiltration and infections. How you handle an IV says a whole lot about the kind of nurse you're going to be. All right, section 1, preparation. You've got to remember, amazing patient care actually starts outside the patient's room. Seriously, what you do before you even walk in sets the stage for everything that follows. Okay, so before you even think about touching any supplies, you need to put on your detective hat. First stop, the patient's chart. You're digging for clues. Any allergies? What's their medical history? What are their latest labs saying? Then you've got to know the rules of the road, your facility's policies on IVs. You have to know them cold. This way, you're not just following steps, you're making sure your care is safe and perfect for that specific person. And here's your equipment list. Now, this might seem basic, but think about it. Getting all of this stuff before you go into the room is a total game changer. It shows you're prepared. It means you're not scrambling mid-procedure, running back to the supply room. It's smooth, it's professional, and trust me, your patient notices. Okay, on to section 2. We've done our prep work. Now it's time to head to the bedside. This is where we start interacting with the patient and doing our hands-on assessment. Think of these first few steps as laying the foundation for everything else. You provide privacy, which is just basic respect, right? You introduce yourself, which starts building that trust. You wash your hands. That's non-negotiable. And then you tell the patient what you're about to do. It calms them down and makes them part of the team. And this is probably the most critical safety check you will ever do. I'm serious. Before you do anything to a patient, you have to confirm who they are. Use at least 2 identifiers: name, date of birth, whatever your facility uses. There are 0 exceptions to this rule, ever. All right, now for your go-to assessment. It's a simple 4-point check that you'll do over and over. First, you inspect. Just look at it. Is it red? Swollen? Then you palpate. That's just a fancy word for touching the area. Does it feel hot, cold, or painful? Third, check for patency. Is the fluid actually flowing like it should be? And finally, check the dressing. It needs to be clean, dry, and stuck down tight. Okay, so what happens when your assessment turns up, well, something that's not right? This is where you really get to shine as a nurse. Let's talk about what to do when things don't go as planned. So here you can see it plain as day. On one side, you have a perfect IV site, looks good, feels good. On the other side, all the red flags. You see redness, swelling, maybe bruising. And a really big one is if the skin feels cool. That's a classic sign of infiltration. Knowing the difference is everything. So when you see a problem, you need a plan. If the IV is just flowing slow, sometimes just moving the patient's arm a bit will fix it. Easy, but, and this is a big but, if you suspect infiltration or an infection, you stop the infusion immediately. That's step 1. Then you take it out, find a new spot, and let the provider know what happened. Safety first, always. All right, section 4. You've done the hard part, but don't pack it in just yet. Finishing strong is just as important. Let's talk about the final checks you need to do. Think of this as your wrap-up checklist. You've got to change out the tubing based on your hospital's rules, get rid of all your trash in the right bins, take off your PPE and wash your hands again, and then, super important, close the loop with your patient. Let them know what you found and what's next. You're going to hear this a million times in your career, and for good reason. If you didn't chart it, it didn't happen. Seriously, your documentation is the legal proof of the care you gave. It has to be accurate, it has to be on time, and it's how you communicate with the rest of the team. Last thing you do before you leave the room, every single time, it's a quick safety scan. Is the call light where they can reach it? Is the bed as low as it can go? Are the wheels locked? Do they have their phone and water nearby? It takes like 10 seconds, and it can literally prevent a fall. Okay, let's wrap this all up. We'll touch on a few special cases and talk about your next steps for really mastering this. A really smart nurse knows that one size does not fit all. When you're working with older adults, you have to be extra gentle. Their skin is fragile, their veins are fragile. Take it easy. And with kids, the hand is usually a no-go zone. It's just too painful, and they need their hands to play. You've always got to adapt your technique. Hey, if you found this helpful, do us a huge favor and hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your classmates. We make these explainers just for nursing students like you. Oh, and if you're gearing up for the NCLEX, you've got to check out the links below. We've got some awesome revision books that will really help you nail it. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. How does getting really, really good at a technical skill like this actually make you a better advocate for your patient? How does checking an IV site connect to being their protector? Because at the end of the day, that's what this job is all about, right?